I'm reading a story from my own bookshelf. This story is from the Ladybird publication of a collection of stories for 5-year-olds. And if you are 5-year old or if you aren't, it's okay. Just listen and enjoy. The story I'm going to read today is something that most of the mamas here will enjoy. It's called the Up and Down story. An up and down story, and it's about a mother kangaroo and her newborn baby. So, listen up. Mrs. Kangaroo was on top of the world. She had a brand new baby. The baby was called Clifford. Mrs. Kangaroo rang up her friend. "Come and see my son," she said. The friend hopped over right away. She brought a big book on childcare. "I can give you some tips as well," said her friend. "I've got 3 children of my own." Mrs. Kangaroo listened to her friend's advice. She read the book carefully. More than anything, she wanted to be a good mother. Clifford, the baby, settled down quickly. He slept at night. He gurgled throughout the day. "Being a mum is easy," thought Mrs. Kangaroo. "It's time to get out and about." She telephoned her friend. "We'll hop over for some coffee," she said. Seems like Mrs. Kangaroo is having a fun time with her baby, isn't she? Let's see what happens. Mrs. Kangaroo dressed Clifford in his best clothes and popped him in her pouch. Kangaroos have a pouch in which they have their baby joeys, so their baby joeys can sit inside close to their mama. She set off at top speed. But before she got to the end of the road, Clifford started wailing. He'd never made that dreadful noise before. Whatever could be the matter? Mrs. Kangaroo lifted Clifford out of her pouch. She remembered everything she had read in the book. So this is them hopping along, and then Clifford starts crying. I wonder why. She checked Clifford carefully, but Clifford was clean and dry. Suddenly, Mrs. Kangaroo noticed Clifford's face. It wasn't kangaroo colored at all. Clifford's face was bright green. Oh dear. Mrs. Kangaroo was alarmed. Clifford must have the horrible disease the book had mentioned. It was called travel sickness, and it affected very young kangaroos. Poor Clifford and poor Mrs. Kangaroo. Sadly, Mrs. Kangaroo tiptoed the rest of her way to her friends. She went as smoothly as she could, but it's difficult for a kangaroo not to hop at all. By the time Mrs. Kangaroo arrived, Clifford was in a bad shape. His mother needed that cup of coffee. Poor Clifford. "It's nothing to worry about," said the friend. "Get some Bouncewell medicine from the chemist." Mrs. Kangaroo went straight to the chemist and bought some. "Put a teaspoon in Clifford's next bottle of milk," advised the chemist. After Clifford's feed, Mrs. Kangaroo set off hopefully for the shops to do some shopping. But the medicine didn't work. Clifford wailed all afternoon. When she got home, Mrs. Kangaroo rang her friend. "That medicine you told me about is no good," she complained. "Clifford's all green again and I don't know what to do." "Clifford will soon grow out of it," said the friend. "Lots of baby kangaroos get travel sickness. It's not a big deal." So this is Mrs. Kangaroo running to the chemist and again telephoning her friend, who says, "You know what? Babies grow out of it." But Mrs. Kangaroo couldn't wait for Clifford to grow out of it. She was truly worried. She didn't want to be stuck at home all day. Being a mum wasn't so easy after all. Someone should have warned her. Crossly, Mrs. Kangaroo began to turn out her cupboards. Suddenly, she found her old roller skates. Mrs. Kangaroo got very excited. Could this be the answer to Clifford's problems? The next day, Mrs. Kangaroo took Clifford for a trial run. She crossed her fingers for luck, because she didn't know what was going to happen. I hope things go well. Whee! Mrs. Kangaroo set off down the street. She soon got the hang of her skates again. Clifford had never had such a smooth ride with her. In no time at all, Mrs. Kangaroo was halfway across town. The baby's face was still a beautiful kangaroo color, and Mum wasn't stuck at home. But Mrs. Kangaroo was careful not to skate past the police station. She would hate to get arrested for speeding. The end. I think it's such a beautiful little story that even holds true today, isn't it? The amount of troubles and struggles that a new mom faces. And let me remind you, this book was for 5-year-olds. So, why not talk about your own little struggles to your child as they grow in a way that they can understand, in a way that they realize it's not their fault, but or which also shows them how you persevered and how you dealt with your fears and your troubles, and you found a solution to your problems in some cases. And of course, remind them that you love them and everything that you do is a way to connect with them. That was my story for today. Bye.